You might be wondering how to best prepare for your performance review as a business analyst. This is a critical conversation. Often they happen just once, maybe twice a year. You want to have a great strategy for communicating to your manager what you accomplished this year, but more importantly, also paving the way for what your following year looks like, what kind of goals you can set, and what kind of support you can get from your manager and your organization in achieving those goals so that you can contribute at a higher level and grow your career long term. So, I'm going to talk about three separate steps to prepare for your performance review and to really walk into that conversation with confidence and ease and be ready to bring your best self forward. So, step one is to conduct a self review. We often think of performance reviews as people giving feedback to us, and that definitely is part of the picture. But most of the times, managers will expect you to complete a self review and to send in that documentation ahead of time. Even if they don't, and that often happens as well, you want to prepare it and possibly send it or at least bring it to the interview. And this is going to help you be able to articulate your perspective on your accomplishments for the year. So take some time and reflect back on your year. What were the highlights? What were some of the lowlights? What were some of the challenges that you faced? How did you overcome them? What are you especially proud of accomplishing? So look back over all of your experiences from the year and really take some time to appreciate how far you've come. This can also help pull together what might seem like scattered experiences across different projects and enhancement requests and initiatives, and just really see some of the themes for the year of where you improved and what you contributed. So one mistake I see business analysts make is to focus just on what they did that was special. Implementing an improvement to their process, developing a special skill, or using a new technique, right? The bulk of the work that you did this year was probably not special in that regard. It was part of the ongoing project work on improvements made to the business. So you really want to look at what you did inside those projects and what skills you developed inside those projects as well. Keeping a project journal can really help make this easier. Another great tip is to complete a complete self-assessment of your business analysis skills and do that on an annual basis so that you will kind of have benchmarks of where you were a few years ago, where you were a year ago, where you are today. And if you've never done a self-assessment before, I have a free business analysis skills assessment that you can download in the links below and use that. And then, this is your first time. So go ahead, complete it for the first time, and then plan to complete it again in 6 months or a year from now so you can look back on your progress. You will often realize there's capabilities you didn't even know you had that is also something you can celebrate and share with your manager in your performance review. Okay, so step two is to identify the questions that you are going to ask in your performance review. Great business analysts always have questions. Just like in a job interview, a performance review should be a two-way conversation. Your manager is going to have some questions for you about your career goals, in addition to sharing their feedback about your performance. So prepare some questions to identify what's going on in your organization, as often any changes or improvements that are upcoming can lead to new professional development opportunities. If there's a new system implementation or a big change or a restructure, those can be opportunities to contribute and add more value as a business analyst. So some of the questions that you could ask would include, what are the organization's key priorities next year? What changes will our team and department face? How can I best contribute to those priorities or changes? What resources will be available to me to grow professionally, right? Sometimes there's training available within our organization or funding set aside for training or for mentoring. Maybe there's a mentoring program in your organization, right? So just asking about that question about what resources are available will give you a lot to go on. And then finally, what opportunities do you see for me to improve as we go into the next year? That's a great way to get feedback, especially if you just get that gold star, like you're doing great, just keep it up. You really always want some sort of constructive feedback that helps you grow and expand to take you to that next level. So when you are asking these questions, you want to listen for Where's your team heading? Where's your organization heading? But really, where can I increase my contribution and add more value within my business analysis role or related roles if you want to expand beyond that? So I am going to share a video as well of all the different ways that you already are probably creating value as a business analyst, but they will give you some things to listen for as your manager is talking about what's coming up for the next year so that you can be value focused. So you always want to be focused on adding more value. That's what great performance looks like. So there's skills and abilities and the ways that you contribute, but the more that you can tie those skills and abilities to the value that you're creating as a professional, the easier it becomes to start preparing for salary negotiation if that's on the table, or a promotion, something bigger, or even getting funding for training or other investments in your career. Having that value focused mindset really is a game changer. Now, the third step is to prepare an initial set of performance goals for next year. So first, we're going to ask questions about what's happening at the organizational level. But what do you really want to accomplish? What skills do you want to develop? What kinds of project and experiences do you want to have? What software do you want to learn? What kind of stakeholders do you want to work with? So how will you invest your time and energy to support your employer and grow your career? Because you are going to find the most fruitful opportunities at the intersection between your goals and your employer's key objectives. So you want to be able to share those goals and those ideas and really pressure test them with your manager about how viable they are, how much organizational support you might have for achieving them. So for example, do you need some business analysis training? What, if so, is there a budget available or a timeline? Or do you have access to resources through a company platform that you might not be aware of? Often managers have at least some funds allocated towards training, and you might be able to influence where and how those get invested. Would you want to be assigned to new types of projects to stretch or hone a specific type of skill? If so, now is the time to put that request in and lay the groundwork for being assigned to those projects. Do you want support from a coach or a mentor? If so, is your manager able to support you, or could they connect you with somebody on another team or even within your team who is interested in doing mentoring? Or do you want to coach and mentor others? And you could offer that to help your manager connect you with somebody who's looking for that kind of support. So just thinking about what you want in an ideal world, regardless of where the organization is going, can really help prepare or give you some ideas so that when they say, well, what do you want to do next year? You're not lost, right? You at least have something to share. And then of course you want to follow up later with some of those intersections between what you learned about the company and what you want out of your career so that there's a true win-win for everybody involved. So I hope this helps you feel a little bit more prepared. Again, you want to do that self-review. You want to prepare questions to ask about the organization and about some feedback on your own work. And then think about your goals for next year so you can start to plant those seeds towards getting any support you need to achieve them. Remember, this is your career. It's your performance review. You deserve constructive feedback. You deserve to get some suggestions of how to move forward. Your company stands to benefit just as much as you do from your improved performance. Leave a comment below with your takeaway from this video and celebrate any wins with me about your goals for this year or your goals for the coming year. Can't wait to connect with you. Again, I'm Laura Brandenburg from Bridging the Gap, and we build our profession one business analyst at a time. Success starts with you.